If you're struggling with your Power Pivot data models, or even worse, you're patching files together with VLOOKUPs and HLOOKUPs, then you need to learn the power of AI with Power Pivot. In this video, I'm going to show you step by step how you can use AI to level up your Power Pivot skills faster than ever before. You're going to learn how to analyze data, build KPIs, and consistent calculations with just a click of a button. If that sounds good, let's get rolling. So here we are in Excel. I've already got several files loaded into Power Query that we're going to use for our Power Pivot. Now, before we continue with this video, I want to mention that I'm not going to be covering any of the basics of Power Query or Power Pivot. You don't need to be an advanced user, but you need to be familiar with both tools and comfortable working with them to really get the most out of this video. Now, if you're not comfortable working with them, I'm going to put a link to a video right here. I'm going to teach you in that video how to use Power Query, Power Pivot, and Power BI in under 45 minutes. That's going to cover every single thing you need to know to get the most out of this video. So if you're comfortable with the tools, go ahead and keep watching. If you're not comfortable with the tools, go watch that video first, get your hands wet with Power Query and Power Pivot, then come back to this video and you'll get a lot more out of it. Now, as we think about AI with Power Pivot, there's three jobs that AI does really well with Power Pivot. The first job is to help you design your model, design your data model, because sometimes it's not the most intuitive how to get the best results from Power Pivot. The second thing it does is help you write DAX code for all of the measures, columns, or KPIs that you want to build. And lastly, it helps you with documenting your model and auditing. But to do all of these tasks, we need to teach ChatGPT about our model so it understands how it can help us. And there's a great free tool that can help us get the information we need to train our AI tools called DAX Studio. So again, DAX Studio is a totally free tool. I've got it up here. You just go to daxstudio.org. There's a version you can use for PC. There's a version you can use for Mac. Download this free tool and it's going to integrate right with your Excel or with your Power BI, depending on where you want to work with it. It's a great tool as you want to level up your DAX, and it works really well, pairs really well with AI tools, and it's going to help us get a lot more value out of them a lot faster. So once you've got DAX Studio installed, you're going to come to your add-ins right here and you'll see DAX Studio under add-ins. Now you may have more add-ins here. I just put DAX Studio here to make it clean. If you have multiple, don't worry. Just look for DAX Studio or search for it and you can pop this open. As you open DAX Studio, this connect window is going to come up. You want to point it to either your Power BI model if you're working in Power BI, or in this case to your Power Pivot model, which is where we're working. Make sure you've got the right file here. This is our AI example file for Power Pivot, and we'll go ahead and click connect. So now you'll see that all of your tables have come up. If we go back over to Excel and queries and connections, you'll see these are all of the same files. We've got our point of sale data right here. We've got our financial data here, and then all of our mapping tables. And you'll see because we've connected, the same things are appearing here. Have any questions so far? Go ahead and leave them down in the comments. I read and respond to every single one, and I'm more than happy to help. Now, we're going to put a little bit of code in. Don't worry, I'm going to give you all of this code right down in the description. Make sure to check that out, and you'll just have to kind of copy and paste this. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get kind of all of the metadata out we need. Now, we're going to want this to output in a CSV file that we can attach to ChatGPT. So you want to come to results right here, scroll down to file, click that. That's going to automatically give any query you pose back as a CSV file. So let's copy and paste in our code. And again, you have to do this one at a time. A little bit annoying, but the benefits are worth it, trust me. So we'll pop that in. This is going to get out our dimensions, or in this case, it's really the tables. So first we're going to run columns. This is going to kind of tell ChatGPT all of the columns we have as well as all the tables. So it's really multi-purpose from there. We'll go ahead and hit run. We'll call this columns. All right, that's saved our CSV file. We can clear that out. Now let's do our next one, which is going to be any measures we've added. All right, we'll run that. There's our measures. And then we can put in our relationships. So any relationships that we've added to the file. And again, we'll run that and call it relationships. Now, this is great. This is going to give us all the metadata for how our data model is structured. But the one thing it's not going to give is the format of the data inside of our tables. So we want to pull that out as well. And we're going to do that with one more set of code to pull it out. So we're going to use, in this case, the evaluate function, which is going to let us evaluate any data set inside our Power Pivot model. We're going to ask for just the top 10 rows. That's really all you need for the AI to evaluate it. So we'll say top N. Let's get the top 10 rows, and then you just name a table. So let's start with our financials. So we've got our financial table. Now let's get our point of sale data. Now, unlike with the other ones when we were getting the metadata, in this case, you can just run one set of code and it will give you two files for both data sets. So let's do the same thing again, except this time we're going to do table 1, which is our point of sale data, and we'll go ahead and run that, and it's going to give us the two different files. All right, and there are our results. So coming to our folder, you'll see our 4 files here, and this is exactly what we're going to attach to ChatGPT to start training it on our model. If you haven't already, make sure to click the link down in the description and join my free weekly newsletter, Finance Automation Insider. I send a copy every single week with tips, tricks, and hacks just like this. Plus, when you join, I'll send you a free copy of my guide to 15 5-minute finance automations to save you hours. Again, click the link down in the description so you don't miss another issue. So here I've got a clean ChatGPT window. Let's go ahead and attach our 4 files. All right, here's our 4 files. We'll go ahead and attach those, and then we can put in our prompt. Okay, so I'm going to bring our prompt over. Let's start by saying act as a senior FP&A data modeler for a multi-location retail. So we've got that. Now let's tell it what I've given it. So I've uploaded. Next, I'm going to say I've uploaded 4 CSV files containing the metadata and data examples. We want to tell it what we're trying to do for this model. So here we're going to say this model is for a chain of coffee shops used for financial planning and analysis. And then I'm going to ask it to do the work for me. So I want it to please do these 4 steps. Identify which tables are fact tables and which are dimension tables. Describe the relationships between tables in English. Create a clean model summary table. And suggest any improvements to the model for FP&A. Let's send that away and see what we get back. So you'll see ChatGPT is already analyzing. It's converted all of our CSV files into data that it can read and understand. And now it's processing our query. And we're getting some great stuff back. So it's already identified that I gave it a financial planning fact table and a point of sale transaction level fact table, which we didn't tell it that. It's learned it on its own. So it's identifying the fact tables and then saying everything else we have is a dimension table. Now it's explaining the relationship between the tables. Then we've got the clean model summary table we asked for, and then our recommended improvements. So we want to go to a star schema by adding version dimensions. We want to add a date dimension. That's really great. Create a store dimension that both fact tables share, a product to financial mapping, a scenario or plan cycle dimension, and a KPI dimension. So many great things we can do here. So now from the designing standpoint, let's ask it a few more questions. I'm going to pop this prompt in, and I'm going to say, now act as a data architect for FP&A and suggest how you'd refine this model for profitability analysis by store, month, and account. Call out any confusing relationships or potential pitfalls you see based on the metadata and sample data. So we'll send that away and see what we get back. ChatGPT is coming back, and it's giving us the 2 things. So how it would refine and re-architect, and the weird risky bit. So it's saying our target design, here's how I would do profitability by store and month. Here's how I can do dimensions, so that's awesome. Here's how I would manage the fact tables. It's really giving us a great structure for our Power Pivot models, and all of this, again, based on exactly what we have in Power Pivot already. If we were part of the way through building it, it's going to respond to the building we've already done. Here's some recommendation on refining, so we need to clean up. Here's some recommendations on refining, so we need to clean up our time, clean up our stores and locations, treat version as a dimension, and then confusing stuff. So the month versus month 2 versus transaction date. So we're just really not handling dates or time clean. Very common with point of sale systems. Too many mentions of location versus store ID versus store location. And there's just a single value column for all accounts, which is causing some issues. And then a few other suggestions here as well. So now that we've had ChatGPT help us lay out how we're going to build our Power Pivot model, now let's have it write some DAX to help us actually create the measures and the KPIs we want to work with. And we'll start with the measures. So I'm going to paste this prompt in. All right, so this prompt is going to say, using the same model you just analyzed, help me create DAX measures in Excel Power Pivot for profitability. I'm giving it some business rules here about what profitability means, and then I'm saying, give me a total revenue measure, a total expense measure, a profitability measure, and a profitability percent measure, and then give me some sanity checks I can run in a pivot table. Always make sure to check as you go, just to make sure things are working as you want. We'll send this away, and we should get some nice clean DAX code back that we can take right into Power Pivot. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I post brand new videos every single week, and I don't want you to miss a thing. Awesome, and that's exactly what we're getting back. So here's our revenue measure, here's our expense measure, and here's our profitability measure and our profitability percent measure, as well as some checks we can run. All right, so let's go ahead and do our first measure. This is going to be our total revenue measure. It's going to be on the financial table, because that's where our GL data is. and I want to call this total revenue. Again, down here, we'll just call it total revenue. We're going to come over, we're going to copy our code. We simply have to paste the code in. We'll send it away, and we've got our first measure set up. All right, and there it is, our first measure for total revenue. How awesome is that? Now we'll do another new one. Here we can do the same thing. We'll make sure this is on the financials table. We'll call this total expense, paste our formula in. All right, there's our formula. And now we've got our total expense. All right, then from there, we'll go ahead and hit new again. We're going to get our profitability one, which is pretty simple, just total revenue minus total expense. All right, we'll make sure to call this one profitability. If I can type that, profitability, and we'll call that the description. All right, there's total revenue minus the total expense, and then we'll do profit percent. There's profit percent. Go get our function. This is using divide. I'll pop that in there. And there are all of our measures ready to go. Now, if I were to insert a pivot table, insert pivot table from data model, we'll put this on the existing worksheet. You'll see if I go to my financial table, everything with FX here, that is a measure that is being calculated and everything is ready to go. So if I have my power pivot here, we'll pop open financials and you'll see there are our 4 measures. The FX means it's a calculated measure and they are ready to go and ready for us to pull into a pivot. So now let's go ahead and test this. Let's see if I can pull in my expense, and indeed I can. There's my expense by location, by month. How cool is that? So now that we have that set up, let's go ahead and do a KPI. So if I come back to ChatGPT, let's put in our KPI prompt. So we're going to say, now help me turn profitability percent into a KPI in Power Pivot. My target profitability is going to be 20% by default, and explain how to set up the thresholds. Let's go ahead and add this in and see what we get back. You'll notice when I ask simpler, more straightforward questions, especially around the coding, it's coming back a lot faster than when I'm asking it to do kind of the evaluation on the entire model. All right, so I've already got the measure set up, so I can just go to create KPI. Let's do that. We'll go new KPI. So this KPI is going to be based on my profit percent. I need to define the target value. Let's see if it gave us that option. So our target value is going to be absolute, and we want to do it as 0.2, meaning we want to flag if our profitability is above. We want to flag if our profitability is above or below 20%. And then is there anything else chat would like us to do? 3 states, red less than 10, yellow 10 to 20, and green above 20. So we can go back and set that up just as it has suggested. So let's take this up to 0.1. This is at 0.2, so we are all set. If it's above 20, it's good. Down to 10, it's going to be yellow, and below that, it'll be red. So we'll hit that in there. Okay, so now we can check if our KPI is working. So I can check to see what my actual profit percentage is. So all of this is high. So it looks like in theory, everything will come back as a green. We can go and check our goal. Goal for everything is 20% as it should be, but let's see the status. So in this case, everything was profitable. I probably should have tossed some unprofitable ones in there, but proof of concept, everything is green and our KPI is functional. So we've just used ChatGPT to do all of our DAX code that we can just copy and paste in. It understands our model, it can manage our model, and now we are all set. So now the last thing I want to show you is how you can use this to document your model so you can make sure you understand it yourself and also hand off to others, which is just super valuable. Finally, using everything you've learned from the metadata and sample data, help me document this Power Pivot model for future users. Generate content I can paste into an Excel sheet with a short model overview, a table listing each table, its grain and whether it's factor dimension, a table listing each key measure, and 5 to 7 bullet points of things to watch out for when using this model. Make it clear and written for another FP&A analyst, not a developer. We'll send this away and we'll see what we get back. All right, and here it is. This Power Pivot model brings together financial results and retail store activity, gives you great information there. Here's all of our table summaries from everything that we've built so far. It's added in. So again, keep in mind that I did not go back and get another DAX Studio output, but ChatGPT is remembering the original information and what it's asked us to build. So it's got in here the KPI, the profitability percent, all of the things it's helped us build because it's keeping track of how the model is. And then here's things to watch out for important and all of the things that you should be careful of. So it generates essentially the core of an SOP of how the model functions so it's generated essentially an entire user guide so you can hand this off without issue. How cool is that? If you've enjoyed this video and want to learn how to use AI with more tools, then make sure to check out my video on how to use AI with Power Query. I'll show you how to use it to write M code to level up your data cleaning and transformation. I'll also show you how to use it with Python to do data analysis right in Power Query. I'm going to put the link to that video right here. Again, if you enjoyed this video, you don't want to miss it. I'll catch you over there. Until then, this is Mike signing off from F9 Finance. Cheers.